Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly review session. Been a rough ass week, but we gotta get into this. See what was the good, what was the bad. Get everything settled correctly. All right. Open my back testing sheet real quick. What we on? This is the first week of June, I think. Yeah, 2 to 6. Ended with 14R in April, 7.5R in May. And that's with just the Asia high-low, London high-low sweeps. All right, so now we're starting off with June. Or 6-2. 6-2 is right here. Monday we got what do we got Monday? Let me see. 2015. My mouse broken again. I'm just use green and red. I don't want to keep editing this stuff. All right, so Asia highs, Asia low was 2350. We got Asia low swept. London low is intact, and then London highs was swept, I'm pretty sure. 310. All right, so this is what we got. 930 swept off the bat. Asia low, London high in pre-market overnight session, and then we have Asia high swept in intraday. Time of sweep. I think it's 930 off the bat. Yes. Was there an entry for this? After sweeps, it creates a hindsight. Let's see. Inversion with fair value gap. All right. Inversions right here. Inversion, no inversion. Inversions right here. Fair value gap as well. No market structure shift though, but there is fair value gap. Let's just say inversion. 45 with an entry. This would have risked 23.5. Let's say 30. Risk 30 to what? Aim for. I mean, 2R been right away, but let's say we go back down to open. That'd been like 140. That's actually a lot. Where intraday lows. That actually would have been a lot. All right, so risk 30 for 140. That'd been 4.6R actually. Jeez. Okay. So IFBG, yes. Inversion market structure shift, no. I mean, there was a shift here afterwards though, and then we could have taken it here as well. 41 for 106. Like 2.5R. So I'm gonna say 2.5 to 4.5. That starts out pretty well. Time of entry, we'll do 9:44. Time of exit, would I be able to hold it for this long is the question though. I mean, or we could just aim for this. The lowest fair value gap. 100 for 30. Also just aim for 50%. That been 2R. Let me just leave it as that. Before 950 trade, no market structure shift. All right, so that's that. Let's move on. 6/3 Tuesday. This one had Asia lows and highs, and London highs swept overnight. I'm not even draw it out. It had it swept overnight. It was no intraday sweep for this one. You guys can find it. Actually, I'll do it quickly. 23.20. Right here. And 20. Right here. That's Asia swept. And then London lows was the only one that was not swept. London lows did not get swept intraday. The rest got swept overnight. London highs, Asia lows, highs, all swept intraday. No intraday sweep. Moving on, 6/4, Wednesday. This was even worse. It swept both sides. So no intra sweep as well. $20 and 22.15. Right here's 20. That's Asia highs. This is Asia lows. Both swept. London lows is 310. Right, this right here. Yep. And then London highs is 415. Was what right here? All swept before intraday. I'll go over the pre-market high lows as well. All right, 6/5 Thursday. This looks like another nasty day. Was this swept both sides again? Yeah, this was. What the fuck? I mean, I did have problems on Wednesday, Thursday. Pretty much fucked up my a good amount of my accounts on those 2 days. Should have known Friday was NFP. All right, so Asia high low, swept, swept. London high low, London low, London high. I'll swept before market opened. The last day, Friday, 6-6. Was there anything? I don't remember. Let's check. Okay, so Friday had Asia lows and London lows intact. The Asia highs was swept. Asia highs. London lows is right here. London highs is right here. London high swept, Asia high swept. London lows untouched, Asia lows untouched. But we got nowhere near there. The only good trade was Monday, basically, with this strategy. Alright, so we'll give it right, like 3R for now. 3R for this week. That's just off of Asia and London high-low sweeps. Now let's get into the best trades of the week. Pull up my screenshots as well. All right, this was Monday the 2nd, June 2nd. What we got? Supply and demand, there are only zones up here. I mean, that would have been perfect actually, so. Zones up here. Just before 950. So my supply and demand wasn't in action, but it did hit this 30-minute here, created an inversion. So pay attention to this. How would I know to target back down here though? That's the real question. Why would it not retrace 50% or GP? I don't know. Oh, interesting. I also swept previous day high. All right, so we swept previous day high and inverts and goes back down. The opening price. That was the trade of the day. But this is all before 950 though. So it's after 950. You could say it swept these lows right here, create another inversion. This would have been valid too. Bringing price back up all the way to this high. Or the 1 minute fair value gap. 5-minute fair value could be a target as well. Just gotta look for these more inversions at previous day highs and lows. Pre-market high lows. All right, let's go to the next day. 6-3. Supply and demand. What we got? 15-minute swing high demand here. I mean supply here. All right, look for a break and retest on that one. Broke above. Not 950 yet. This is where 950 is right here. So break and retest. These did work twice. Could have taken that. Wait, let me check the first time. What was the first time again? This is not 950 right here. Right, and there were no other zones, so there's no supply and demand on Monday. But you could take an inversion instead. Tuesday, yes, supply and demand. Was there inversion? Go check it out. Previous day high right here. Did create an inversion here. And it retested. Could have worked somewhat. Comes back up. That's break even, I think. But probably would have failed. Then we created a new inversion, market structure shift. What did I label this? This is a 5-minute fair value gap. Yeah, this one was kind of complicated, not gonna lie. Strong movement here. I waited for a 5-minute strong movement pullback. This reviewing is kind of hard because I also don't know, like, if I had to figure out the bias for today as well. But for this trade of the day was probably back to this 5-minute fair value gap. Market structure shift. I think it was 10 a.m. news probably too, right? Comes back into this, holds. Alright, that or down here. Probably been like 2R. When there's no ICT, supply and demand might work. And this one has no supply and demand. The inversion worked. Alright, let me see. Let me continue back testing that. Go on to Wednesday, the 6-3. Oh, no. Wednesday, 6-4. Alright, more nasty zones right here. Wednesday was a really bad day. Swept both sides. Gotta keep that in count. So we did this and this. 950s right here. So would have taken the break and retest of this. That would have failed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Comebacks down. This would have been a break and retest. Alright, so let's say assume right now there is no supply and demand. It was pretty weak here. Was it an inversion? We already swept previous day high. Pre-market highs right here. Both Asia high low and London high lows were swept. Pre-market high. There was a fair value gap market structure shift and inversion right here. So yes, this could have been a trade. This right here as well. And then sweeps pre-market low. So when there's no supply and demand, you look for the eye. Oh, hindsight trading, but this is how you back test. That's interesting. Let's see this day. Thursday was another sweep high low in the overnight session. Created 90-minute and this 4-hour here. This was not 950 yet. This was 950. This would not have worked. Break and retest at the 90 would have worked. Pre-market high, pre-market low. Sweeps pre-market low. And then what? No inversions yet until it closes above this, which it did here. Comes back down. That would have stopped out. This inversion would have worked better. Tricky day. And we also have this 1-minute fair value gap here. Yeah, this one was weird. We had to wait for a pre-market low sweep. Holding 4-hour here. Usually the 4 hour zones break though. It's so big. Don't know when it breaks. All right, Friday we had zones. After 950 is right here. It was perfect actually. We had to take this trade. This was not really a break and retest. It was retested here again. It worked again at 11. But when supply and demand works, does this work? There was no pre-market highs, but London low high. Previous week high was up here. 15-minute fair value gap there. Did a market structure shift and fair value gap here? Yes, this could have worked. Never would have stopped out. Kind of 2R. But yeah, you can see when supply and demand works, the other one does not work. It has to be obvious too. Like, looking at this, there's no obvious inversion or anything until like maybe here. Or is there an obvious supply and demand? Yeah, right here. Going back and making sure. Obvious inversion. No, not really. Nothing yet. If it went back above this, then yeah, sure. But this is all messed up. Rally, nothing. This right here. This is obvious. And this right here. Obvious supply and demand. Is there obvious supply and demand? Somewhat. Fair value gap, obvious inversion, lower high. This could have been the one. And then when the V shape here, this was kind of obvious too. Break and V test would have failed. But this was not even a good zone, was it? Yeah, it wasn't. Am I coping? Obvious strength here. And it bounced off 4 hour fair value gap bias was higher. Gotta wait for setups. I stop playing scalps. Scalps is not my type of thing. Is it better to wait the 15 minutes each day? I might check that afterwards. This was obvious. All right, waiting the 15 minutes each day. No, not really. It's just whatever presents itself. Gotta take it. There's that. Wait, do you guys hear the bang sounds? I gotta look back and see if that there's any banging sounds. All right. What else do I want to go over? Weekly review. Prep I'll do tomorrow. I don't know why it's so hard to saving the screenshots and stuff, but that doesn't really help. I feel like they need to start actually screenshotting the trades. Looking at it like this doesn't really do much. I can go over my counts. I have what I have. Beginning of the week, I had two straight to fundeds, 150K traded fives. I had 500 futures starter, expert, starter plus. Starter plus already took out 1200, so then that blew up right away, and then I got a new starter plus, right? Yeah, I had a new starter plus. I blew that starter plus up. Then I blew the expert account and the starter on Wednesday and Thursday. Those are really rough days. Right now I have a new starter I just finished. Like what, down 100 or something, or 250. And then I have one straight funded left and a growth account on Tradeify. The growth account eval is 1K profit, so need a little more for that. But the straight to funded is deeply in drawdown. But that's fine. Just take it slowly. The only thing I need to rush is probably the starter. Gotta finish it by this upcoming week. Or at least get to close to payout by the end of Friday. I'm gonna go over the weekly planning tomorrow. It is gonna be CPI week. Damn. Monday, Tuesday is probably gonna be slow, but we'll see. Gotta bring back the trade advice straight to fund it by the end of the month. And then get my growth account to fund it as well. And then I'll get that by end of the month as well. The long-term goals for the Tradeify accounts, and then starter my funded account should be short term over the next 2 weeks. Gotta take it slowly. No more scalping. I can't do what that guy does. Not my style. Gotta wait for my setups. Supply and demand sometimes still works too. That's the thing. But I should just risk it on one of the accounts. Gotta stop copy trading and doing all the same things. The problem is that we're currently near all-time highs and just making a lot of weird action lately. Not even clean. A lot of wicks you see here on the daily chart. This is the weekly chart. Kind of stalling out here now. But yeah, this will be it for the weekly review. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more stuff like different than what just I review. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow for the weekly prep, and enjoy your weekend. Peace.